back in, everybody. Golf Talk Radio with Mike and Billy.
Golf Academy.
Right here on the Golf Talk Radio Network. Glad you guys are with us. Golf Talk Radio with Mike and Billy, brought to you by McPhee's Grill, hometown cooking through and through. Check out their oak grilled filet mignon. I personally love the macadamia encrusted halibut. You can't go wrong with that. They also have their own butcher shop, aged Angus ribeye steak, porterhouse. And don't forget Ian's famous barbecue sauce. Check them out online at mcpheesgrill.com. 805-434-3204 is the phone number. Oh, look at that.
Hey.
Mr. Ian McPhee's
how is
in
this,
the studio.
How is this possible?
He just like...
So is this the same Ian McPhee?
I couldn't get a tee time this morning.
How are you, Ian?
I'm great.
Still left-handed?
Yeah. I am.
All right, that's cool. I won't hold that.
Proudly
I resemble that
left-handed.
remark. We got Mr. Jim Venetos from the Jim Venetos Golf Academy joining us. I believe he is Ian McPhee's coach and trainer, teacher, and extraordinary pro. Jim, are you with us?
I am. Good morning, gentlemen.
Hi, Jim.
Good morning to you, Jim. How's everything going?
Life is good. I'm teaching in Nevada right now.
Right this second? You want us to hold?
Right. No.
Okay,
I
good.
took a break.
Because we're here for you, man. So, hey, before we start talking about your swing philosophy, and I was reading up on you, listening to some of your videos, very cool. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, what you would like to share, where you're from, and your family? If you have anything you want to share, so the listeners can get to know you better.
Sure. Yeah, I'm from Southern California. I grew up playing golf in Los Angeles, junior competitive golf all throughout Southern Cal. Got to play with guys like Tiger and Phil Mickelson and Charlie Lee. And then went to Cal State Northridge, played Division I golf there, and then turned pro after that. And then I've been teaching this system for about 25 years.
Wow.
Where I teach people how to stay still and hit draws.
Yeah, so your anchoring position philosophy has been going for 20 years now.
25.
Wow, that's 25. That's
awesome.
amazing. So Mike and I have been teaching this movement stuff, which apparently is all wrong.
Only to me.
Only to you. But I'm very interested in learning more about it. Obviously, it sounds intriguing, and Ian has been bragging about you. He just doesn't stop talking about you, to be honest, Jim.
What a sweetheart.
But that is nice. So I'm
It's
going to let
probably it's probably less to do with me and more to do with the quality of the shots that he hits. That's what really gets the students excited, because what I do is I teach a preset position that produces a solid, tight draw. And you know that most golfers struggle with coming over the top and deal with slices and all the weakness that comes from a slice. So when golfers get to hit a draw and they understand how to do it consistently, it really gets them pretty jazzed. So I bet you that's really the source of his excitement.
Yeah, I have to tell you, that is to hit the ball solid more times.
that would be the joy of many people doing
Yeah.
that. So it's
Yeah.
so you should take yourself out to dinner there. Do you have a nice place to eat?
I'm a vegan, so my
that's
pickings
funny.
are slim.
Oh man,
Now that is funny. Actually,
That is
that's
funny.
pretty funny. So yes. So if I get it right, and I know Mike has some questions for you, so I'll try to be quiet. It's hard for me to do, but I was watching your video, and to me it sounds like you're getting him into such a position where you're not moving. There's not a lot of transferring. There's not a lot of turning. It's more of an anchoring. And is it all resistance or torque? Am I wrong in saying that?
One more time?
It was resistance.
Just the last part about torque?
Is your swing have a lot to do with resistance and torque?
Sure. Yes, exactly. That's it. So by anchoring your weight, you create torque, and that creates leverage. And then the club works. When you anchor your weight, think about Iron Byron, right? The club swings in a circle. And when the club swings in a circle, it creates centripetal force. And that's what makes it feel so big and so powerful. You know, when you make that effortless swing and the ball jumps off the face, it's just that the club worked in a circle. And so by anchoring weight, I'm forcing the club to work in a circle. And so consequently, you get that torque, which creates this leverage power. It feels effortless. It doesn't feel like you're swinging hard. But once the club works in a circle, it creates an abundance of power.
Yeah, I understand, Jim, that the only thing straight in golf, the only thing that moves straight in golf is the ball. Everything else is a circle. I think Jim's absolutely right.
Sure,
That's
right?
what, everything else is a circle, and the ball's the only thing that goes straight. Well, hopefully. Hopefully. Or draws.
Or draws. I see it. I see the circle creating that same similar type shape in the shot, just a tight little draw. But I don't like to try and hit a straight shot. I think that that's very difficult to do, and so I'm always going to want to work the ball right to left or left to right. And if I have to hit something straight, sure, that's very demanding. But when you have this premise of everything's going to work right to left, you can start to anticipate your shape, and then it starts to develop a lot of confidence. So straight, a draw flies with less spin than a straight shot would or a fade would. So by having less spin, you actually create more distance.
Again, joining us here, we have Jim Venetos from Jim Venetos Golf Academy. Go to jimvenetosgolfacademy.com. Jim, you were kind enough to send us a password and login for your website, and I was cruising through. If someone signs up with your academy, the first thing they go in, they determine their type of golfer. Can you expand on that in your website?
So there's 4 types of golfers, type 4 through 1, and basically it works like this. The type 1 golfer wants to be an 18 handicap. And so based upon the type of golfer that you want to be, I prescribe a path of videos for you to watch. So if you want to be an 18, you don't have to learn how to hit flop shots and how to hit fades, The next level is a 12 handicap, then a 6, and then a 0.
Wow. Cool.
And so for every level that you want to improve, I add shots into your bag that you have to learn. Either a variety of, like for one, I teach people how to hit quarter, half, and three-quarter shots with their full swings. And this gives them variety through the bag. So instead of just having 10 irons in your bag, you have basically 40 irons in your bag because each iron gets broken down into 4 different size swings. Well, the 0 handicap, I teach how to break down into tenths. So size 1 through size 10 swing. So it's basically like this. It's as good as you want to get. I'm going to teach you the skills to get there, and that's how the website works, where you get to choose the level of golfer that you want to be, then you just follow this path of prescribed videos to get there.
And it sounds to me, if that's the case, it's a never-ending goal. So once you get me to that 18, I'm going to want to be the number 3 golfer. That's right.
Bingo. And that's exactly how it happens.
Yeah.
Because you're learning, what I teach is founded in stillness. So once you can stay still in the position, it's very easy then to add skills into your game. So it's basically that type 18 just learns the fundamentals: bump and run, pitch, 3-foot putt, and a solid full swing. And then as you progress, you start adding in shots, and sure enough, that starts lowering scores.
Does a player have to build up their core or tighten their muscles to get more leverage or torque? Ian's laughing over here.
Sure.
And then you mentioned also that you can teach the 3 different distances with a full swing. I'm assuming you're varying the speed or of the force. Is that what you're varying?
No, no, it's simply length of swing. So as I say, a quarter length swing.
Oh, I thought I heard you said full swing. That's what I'm sorry. Yeah, I got that.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Cool.
So it's just the quarter, the half, the 3/4, and the full. That creates the variety of distance. Obviously, just like when you're putting, the further you take it back, the further the ball's going to go.
So,
and what we're taught
go ahead,
in the academy is to not just go out to a driving range and
beat balls,
hit the quarter swing, half swing and stuff, but to actually chart it so that you know how far a quarter swing 9-iron is going to be. How far?
Jim, does it require a certain grip, or is it anybody's the way they hold their hands? I mean, you're not suggesting a certain grip, or is you just hold it and go ahead? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no problem. When I set you into the setup position, I ask students, I refer to it like this. I say you pivot onto your left side and then you grip, or you pivot onto your forward side and then you grip the club. Once you pivot, your hands pivot too. So it changes the position of your hands. And what that changes to is a strong grip. I believe in a strong grip. If you told me that I could have a strong, a weak, or a neutral anything, I would want the strong. So by pivoting into their forward side, they immediately go into a strong grip. And all great ball strikers have strong grips. All poor ball strikers have weak grips. It's a truth throughout the PGA Tour.
Well, the exception of Hogan, and he had a very weak top hand. Lower hand, by the way, bottom hand was really weak.
Sure, he had a weak right hand, and meaning that was on top, and he had a strong left hand, right? So they were kind of fighting each other. And as great as Hogan was, what did he fight? He fought a hook. If that right hand wasn't so influencing of the swing, I think, who am I to say that Hogan could have been better? But that's where I see his flaw. He said he wanted 5 right hands at impact, and he hooked the ball.
Yeah.
I think if he had zero right hands at impact, he wouldn't have fought that hook as much.
We were just talking, Jim, before you came on. Billy Gibbs is involved with the First Tee. He's a national trainer, and he just went over down into Palm Springs. And a friend of ours, Dave Shamandel, actually built the grips the way that Hogan had them. And then one of Billy's colleagues from the First Tee actually was hitting those clubs.
He actually played with Hogan's actual clubs, and Hogan put that the coat hanger down to the rivet right at the 530 position, and he locked his right hand into that finger so he could not release the golf club. So he tweaked his, and he bent him 5 degrees flat so they wouldn't hook. So he's right. Jim's absolutely right. He fought a hook a long time, so he tweaked his equipment so it couldn't hook, and put his hands on the club so it couldn't hook, so he could just beat at it, man. So and look at did pretty well.
And just a quick story about this golf swing, because I'm in love with it. I mean, it's made golf so enjoyable for me now, where I can't wait to go out. And I am also fortunate enough to own a little chunk of property, and I have a tee box on my front yard.
That's right. I remember you used to lift the balls.
That's right.
We used to get you a golf
And
ball.
the first time I watched a video of Jim's stuff was about 9 o'clock at night, dark, and I flipped on the lights on my tee box.
And you went out and started.
And I went out and dropped like 10 golf balls and hit like 6 of them better than I've ever hit a golf ball. And that was just my first, that's before I even knew what I was seeing.
Yeah.
But I just kind of did the pivot and boom.
Is there another house down in your property down there to worry about you? Nothing?
No, nothing.
No traffic issues?
Nothing.
That's awesome, man.
Nothing.
That's great.
So Jim, it sounds so simple, and it just
is.
does. And how cool is that? So getting the message out. By the way, if you want to go to Jim Venetos Golf Academy, as Venetos, and your video is very cool. You got
Video, your library and everything's
It made me.
awesome.
It kind of lowered my self-esteem, and I'm thinking, God, I've been doing this wrong for so long, man.
I know. That's exactly. Welcome.
And I'm left-handed, so I realize it must work both ways because of Mr. McPhee over here. But I can't wait to experiment with it. Obviously,
Yeah, me
as
too.
PGA professionals, are always tweaking and changing things around, and I think less is more. Obviously, and I'm sure Jim agrees. Less is more for the student,
Yes.
easily. So if they can get into and it's really based on, you mentioned Iron Byron. It is fixed. It's actually fixed. It doesn't transfer. It does just circles.
Right.
So there's a lot to that. And then Jim DeLobby, wasn't that his favorite golfer? He wanted to play with Iron Byron.
Yeah,
Remember
it
Jim?
was. It still is.
We said, Jim, that's funny. What do you want to play with? He said Iron Byron. That's just too funny. I think he meant Byron Nelson, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure. But,
Yeah.
Right.
Can he hang during the break?
Because the great thing about it is our left shoulder is a 3/4 rotating shoulder joint, and so that works as a center access point, or either shoulder. For a left-handed or right-handed golfer, the lead shoulder acts as the access point, and it loves to do it. This is the other thing about the swing I teach: it doesn't hurt the body because it doesn't torque the spine.
Sounds good to me. So you must be familiar with Dr. Wright. You know who Dr. Wright is, the instructor, Dr. Wright, WRIGHT. Do you know who I'm talking about?
I don't.
Jim. Okay. Anyway, it was cool. He was just did a thing out at training in Palm Springs with the First Tee coaches, and he talked about how you tilt your hand and get that grip, then the grip falls into place, like he just mentioned. So it was neat to see. There's people that are saying the same things, and it was neat
really cool.
because it was fascinating. So can you hold on? We got to take a break. Can you stay with us?
Sure.
Well, that'd be cool.
All right, Jim.
We're going to lose you for a few minutes, but we'll be back.
Okay, Golf Talk Radio with Mike and Billy. Be right back, right here on the Golf Talk Radio Network. Don't forget that Golf Talk Radio is brought to you by McGowie Health Group, 805-461-8822. Check out healthyslowcounty.com. They're our sponsor for the PGA Fantasy Tour that we have every week, where you can win a sleeve of golf balls, courtesy of McGowie Health Group, 805-461-8822. Stay with us. We'll be right back with more Jim Venetos. We have Ian McPhee in the studio as well. We'll be right back. Stay with us.